Welcome to
Science with the Scurrys with Charles
and Drea.
Yes, and occasionally probably Cooper. In lieu of this coronavirus going on and our families happen to be at home doing e-learning and homeschooling and all that good stuff, we, just being the silly people we are, wanted to create a video platform where we could allow kids to learn and have fun in the midst of doing some e-learning. So we decided...
Things can get boring, so this is something to
excite. We want to spice it up a little bit. And so we decided to make a few videos that are doing some science experiments and some STEM challenges. And so for this first video, we're going to do a science experiment entitled Balloon Inflation. And so there are going to be 3 words that we are going to be wanting you to listen up for. Those are going to be our vocabulary words. Our first word is inflation.
Our second word is chemical reaction.
Ooh, and our third one, carbon dioxide. So as we go through this science experiment, be listening for those vocabulary words, and then we'll kind of talk about them a little bit more during our observation and our conclusion. So before we start, we need to go ahead and do the scientific method. And the very first thing we need to do is ask an essential question. Our essential question is, what are some other ways that a balloon can inflate? What do you think, Charles?
Well, I had this theory when I was growing up that if I ran fast enough with the balloon open, I would catch a lot of air and it just inflate that way.
That makes sense, because I see like a lot of workout like runners and they have those big old parachutes in the back and they catch air. Yeah. I was thinking that balloons can inflate with water. So maybe our science experiment has to do with water. I don't know. Let's go ahead and tiptoe into our materials to see.
All right, so for our materials, you'll need a funnel, you'll need a water bottle, you'll need a spoon, some baking soda, and a balloon, but not last but not least, your vinegar.
Your stinky old vinegar, yes. And so these are our materials. Let's go ahead and talk about what the procedures for the experiment will be. So we are going to put baking soda inside the balloon, put vinegar inside the water bottle using the funnel. Then we're going to put the balloon on top of the bottle to see what happens, to see if the balloon inflates, to see if there's like a chemical reaction. What does that carbon dioxide have to do with anything? We're going to observe to see. So before we do that, we know our procedures. Let's make a hypothesis. Well, Charles, what's a hypothesis?
It's an educated guess.
Ooh, excuse me, fancy pants, educated guess. We have a little scientist on our hands.
It is.
Yeah, friends, it is just what you think will happen. So what's your hypothesis for this experiment?
Well, like catching air, if it's a balloon, if it inflates, it might float.
Ooh, that's a good guess. Yeah, whenever I hear the word balloon, I automatically think of float. So that's a pretty good guess. Go ahead and make your hypothesis with your family. Knowing the procedures, what do you think is going to happen? And then let us know. So, are you ready to conduct the experiment?
I am.
All right, let's do it. So first, we're going to go ahead and fill the bottles.
Oh, I got a plan.
Ooh, excuse me. Charles coming up with some alternatives. Do you have enough? Do you think you're good to go?
I think so.
Yeah, we put about a tablespoon inside. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use the funnels to pour the vinegar into the bottle. So we're going to use a little bit of teamwork here. Charles, why don't you hold the bottle for me and I'll pour the vinegar, and then we'll do vice versa. Tell me when it's 1/4 of the way in.
You're there.
Perfect. And then we'll switch.
Pour it all in.
Had a little hesitation for a second. Awesome. So we've got our baking soda filled balloon and we've got our vinegar water bottle. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put the balloon on top of the opening for the water bottle without actually lifting the balloon up. So this is where you have to have a lot of patience and a lot of care. And make sure it's nice and snug. Like Charles looks good. Mine is like, pray it won't come off.
Yeah, hopefully I get mine on. And you try not to do this without ripping a hole.
Boom.
Done it before. There we go.
Awesome. So now we want your help to count us down. Do you want to lead the countdown?
I think so. All right, let's start.
Freeze. When he's finished, we're going to lift up the balloon and see if there's a chemical reaction, see what carbon dioxide has to do with anything, and see if the balloon inflates. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Whoa! Oh my goodness, look at that chemical reaction happening in the water bottle.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Looks like when you open a soda bottle up
After you shake it, yeah. That is like so funny. This is so crazy. The balloon inflated, but we didn't even use air. Why do you think that? I saw that a chemical reaction happened between the baking soda and the vinegar, but how did that even connect with the balloon inflating?
I don't know. Maybe all the pressure pushed it up.
Ooh, maybe pressure? Well, you know what? We were doing a little bit of research earlier on, and we realized that baking soda and vinegar, that chemical reaction together, they created a gas that we actually use in our day-to-day lives. That gas is called carbon
dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. And what are some things that you have heard about carbon dioxide? That's a big word. Like, what do you know about carbon dioxide?
Well, you can breathe it out.
It's funny that you mentioned breathing, because what we're getting ready to talk about is something called the carbon cycle. The gas that the chemical reaction that just happened in our water bottle, that gas called carbon dioxide is used in something called the carbon cycle. And people and animals, we give off carbon dioxide whenever we what?
Whenever we exhale.
Yeah, whenever we breathe, we're giving off carbon dioxide. What plants do is they use that carbon dioxide to make food. And then what they do is give off oxygen. And what do we do with that oxygen?
We inhale it.
That was a deep breath. Yeah, we inhale that oxygen in. So that's how the cycle continues. We inhale oxygen and we exhale what?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. Yeah, exactly. And that is exactly how this balloon inflated with carbon dioxide. So now learning about chemical reaction and what carbon dioxide means, what do you think the word inflate means?
Is it to make something bigger?
It seems like it, right? Yeah, inflate means to fill up. So we just filled up, we expanded this balloon with what material, what gas?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. So we are super excited that you did this science experiment with us, and we hope that you learned a few new things about, what are those 3 words again? First word.
Inflation.
Second word, chemical reaction.
And carbon dioxide.
Thanks guys, and we'll see you real soon.
Just drop a comment below, and then that way we can follow you on Facebook and see how your experiment went.
Yes, let us know.